name's Alan and I'm going to show you how to build up one of our FDC Christmas trees. The first thing you want to do is take the tree parts out of the box and lay them out on the floor in order of size. The largest one will most likely be, then you're going to have a middle section and you're going to have the top section here. This is the Glencoe 6-foot tree that I'm going to build for you today. You'll also see I've got a little bit of ribbon. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a little minute. First thing, start off, get your tree base, and you'll find the 3 little fixing screws that come with this. Open up your base, give it a shuggle, make sure that it's sitting firmly on the ground and it doesn't have any wobbles. There are 3 holes here and you're going to put the 3 screws inside the holes. Just a little bit. If you put your finger inside the shaft here, screw it in until you can just feel the screw starting to touch your finger. Hopefully you can get a good close view of that just now. Okay. So once that's done, I'll set this aside just a little second. Now all the trees we sell, or the majority of the trees we sell, are made from what we call hinged construction. Now what that basically means is all of the tree branches are on hinges. So if I just put this in straight away, all the branches will fall out. We don't want that to happen. You can do it that way, but it's easier if you take a ribbon or anything like it and just tie it fairly loosely around all the tree branches like this. Then take a stand and place your tree into the stand like so, and gently turn these screws until you feel them starting to touch onto the bar or the shaft of the tree, and then gently give them all a little half turn. Finger tight is good enough. That should be us there. So, next thing that we want to do is we want to just move the ribbon up enough to get the bottom layer of tree branches to fall out. That's us there. The next part of opening up the tree is opening up the tree branches themselves. Now, next part of opening up your tree is to open up the tree branch. So we'll just zoom in closely on the tree branch just now to let you see, and then I'll get started opening it. Right, there are various different ways of opening up tree branches. Our preferred method is to start from the inside part of the tree branch and open up the branches in various different directions. Some out at the lower section as well, down towards the ground. Now you'll see that I'm opening them out in all sorts of different directions. This is to try to ensure that almost from the outset, when we're making a tree, we will cover all the inner workings of the tree. You can then choose yourself which direction you want to work in, clockwise, anti-clockwise, and open out the tree. I'll just start opening this a little quicker now. I've shown you how to do the first branch. Sometimes it helps if you just tilt the branch towards yourself and just look straight down to see where you're going to bend the branches to ensure that you get them fully covering the main part of the tree. Now once we've finished the first layer, again we lift the ribbon up just another little drop, and we let the second layer down. This is 6 branches, and we just repeat the process one more time. Right, so what we're doing now, I've finished off the bottom section and again tied the ribbon onto the upper section to stop the branches from falling down. And what I've done is I've put the tree inside, here we are, just slot it inside the bottom section, it should slide in quite nicely. I'm turning the upper section so that when I bring the branches down they fall right in the middle of the branches below. I'll just lift this up a little bit so we get this bottom row out. No, that's not the bottom one. There we are, so that's all 6 out. Now, one thing not to do is to open up a tree branch like this, nice and flat, almost like a palm tree. If you do this, when you bring the next layer down, you will always have big gaps here, and you can see all the different branch layers, etc. when you're finished. You should always open up the branches of the tips in lots of different directions. Right, now that's the main part of the tree complete. The final section of the tree is just a little bit different. You can do this one of 2 ways, or one of 3 ways. You can put the section into the top of the tree and open out from here, and it's easy enough to do with a 6-foot tree, but when you're wanting to build up a 7-foot or an 8-foot tree, that becomes slightly more difficult. What you can do, if it's a larger tree that you have, is hold it and bend these down into position. The first layer of branches should be bent down horizontal. Okay, And as I said, if you're doing a larger tree, just hold it, open up the branches in the same manner as you did for the main part of the tree. If this proves difficult, what you can do, you can rest this on a small table and do the same thing, or even rest it on the floor. Okay, now what I like to do is literally very quickly open up all of these branches in different directions, and as I do it, I rotate the tree top round. A nice splayed out look to them. Okay, once you've done that, let's open up. There's another one from that layer. And we start with the next layer, bending the main parts of the branches, this time not quite horizontal, but nearly. Continue to work along. Open the branches out. Third layer, or fourth layer, maybe 45-degree angle this time. Not really much requirement for more than that. And again, start splaying out the branches in various directions. The branches just above that, you just start to bend them out into position to finish off your tree. Now I like to actually just give them a slight curve as I get to the top. Just straighten the top up as best we can. And that should be our top, all nice and ready. We just place this in position, like so. Alright, the biggest problem that many suppliers of trees have is customers saying that the tree they had delivered wasn't the tree that was in the picture. Quite often that's because of the way that they build the tree up. If you follow those instructions that I've just shown you there, you should be able to manage to get the tree to look easily as good as this. but also the final stage of doing your tree is once you have actually finished opening out all the branches, take a look at your tree, and if you see gaps that you want to fill, quite simply just adjust the branches around to close these gaps over, to make your tree appear even fuller again. Another issue that you can have with trees is the trees are packed very tightly into their shipping cartons. And because of this, quite often the tree branches can be quite flat. And even though over a period of time the branches do open out a little bit, some people would prefer to have them fuller fairly quickly. If you want to do that, an easy way to do it is just to take finger, hold the end, and just rub your hand down it, and it will really open out the branches. Obviously, if you have a lot of branches, this can take a little bit of time. What I recommend is that when Christmas is over, you really shouldn't pack your tree back into the original packing box. By all means, if you want to pack one section of it back into the packing box, do so. However, I do recommend that you buy a Christmas tree bag and put your tree inside that, if at all possible. Because what you'll find is, over the course of several years, your tree will get plumper and fuller. Now, again, when looking, I'll just have a wee look here. Let's see if I can see. For larger trees, you'll also find that on the lower branches you may actually have branches coming off of these also. Bend these to approximately 45 degrees this way and this way, and open up the branches as normal. So this is us with our 6 foot Glencoe tree.